Hey, welcome back to the 2BaRamsFan channel. I'm back to give you a off-season update, we'll call it. I didn't create any content for the draft because I'm not much of a content creator or prognosticator on what might come to be with the NFL draft. I leave that to the others. That's their specialty or their passion, so to speak. But I was a consumer, and when I consumed all of that draft content specific to the Rams, it really made me appreciate how many Ram fans we have out there making great content. And just wanted to say, make sure that you're liking and subscribing and you're supporting all those Ram content creators out there. But I did want to talk briefly about the draft, but before I do that, I want to go back and give it some context because the draft for me really became important at the end of the season in that last game when I think we would all agree that our secondary was exposed as our weak link. So after that last game and the failure of our secondary in large part, the chatter kind of shifted as the draft approached, and a lot of people started talking about we're one piece away, and they kept talking about, oh, we need a wide receiver 3. I think those that are really in tune with what we needed would recognize that we did a really great job of addressing repair of the secondary prior to the draft. So that's where we really needed to fix our team, not with a wide receiver 3, but with that secondary component. And because we had a 13th and a 29th, the fact that they used the 29th to be the catalyst that created the change in our secondary, I'm okay with using the 13th on the quarterback for the future. It doesn't matter whether Ty went 13th or Ty went 29th. We got McDuffie, we got Ty. What difference does it make whether they were 13th or 29th? So in that regard, we got the secondary healed up. We got Ty Simpson for the future. The rest of the draft, the future will tell us whether it was a good draft. The future will grade it out, and we'll know soon enough. But I'm okay with the draft. If I had to give it a letter grade, I would probably say an A minus. But like I said, the future is going to grade this draft out. But I'm happy that we got our secondary healed. I don't think the Rams are done. I think that we've got a veteran acquisition in our future, whether it be through free agency or whether it be through a trade. I don't think Les and Sean are done. But back to the Ty Simpson thing, since we're talking about Les and Sean, they know what they're doing. They found Cooper, they found Puka, they find these gems. So I'm totally okay with trusting Les and Sean. And like I said, the future will prove and grade out what's to be. So anyway, that's my take on the draft. I'm more than happy with it. I've come to grips with the Ty Simpson pick, and I'm comfortable with it. So the next thing I wanted to move on to was the schedule, because as much as I like the draft, I really like the schedule drop. And I've got some problems with the schedule. I shouldn't say our schedule. I've got a problem with the NFL. My problem with the NFL is we're creating more disparity than we are consistency and competitive fairness. And what I mean by that is the almighty dollar is creating more and more primetime games. Don't get me wrong, I like a good primetime game that focuses and highlights our team just as much as the next guy. But in the big picture and in the big scheme, when you've got this influx of travel with international games and additional primetime games, all of the primetime in particular and the international games, they take our players out of the traditional seven-day Sunday scenario, and they inject 5-day returns and 6-day returns, compressed work weeks, compressed recovery time. And also a disparity in, just air miles alone. Look at, San Francisco and Los Angeles and Seattle. Those three are 1, 2, and a 10, I think, in air miles amongst all teams. San Francisco's got over 40,000 air miles. Los Angeles is going to have 34,000 air miles. And you got teams like the Panthers that are going to have 8,000. You think about a professional athlete who needs a full 7 days in a violent game to heal microfractures and stress muscle tears. All of these things take time to heal. And you're scrambling back after one violent game to another violent game in just 5 days of recovery. That's going to take a toll on teams. So when those elements are introduced into the schedule and there's no consistency across the league, how many teams are being forced to play international games versus those that are not? I also feel sorry for season ticket holders. They're losing home games. I get it. You know, the expansion of the league pays the bills. It expands the product, creates more Ram fans. But what shouldn't degrade is the quality of the game. And when you have the front office making decisions that 10% of the league is going to play international, 3% of the league is going to have 6 times the air miles than the bottom of the league, that's kind of the front office playing God or playing winners or losers. Are games truly being won out there on the grass between two different colored jerseys? Or are games being influenced with a heavy thumb of the front office with their thumb on the scale, so to speak? I think we're getting closer and closer to the latter. I think the thumb on the scale of the front office in their desire to capture the mighty dollar and expand the market and expand the brand, it's degrading the product. It's putting players at risk. How are we going to feel if our star players, or even our competitors' star players, for that matter, are going down injured because they've got multiple short weeks impacting their body? But I say that, but then I look at our specific schedule, and I think I got some notes here. Let me look at it real quick. So, in terms of the number of days between games, we've got 1 week where we've got 5 days between games. We've got 2 weeks where we've got 6 days between games. So that's a total of 3 games we're talking about where we have a compressed schedule. Then we have 7 games where we have a full 7-day week. And after that, we have 3 weeks where we have 8. So we're plus 1. We have an extra day compared to the traditional 7 days, Sunday to Sunday. We have 2 where we are 10 days. And we have 1 coming back from Australia where we've got 11. So we've got 6 weeks where we have more than 7. We've got 7 that are a push, the traditional 7 to 7. And then we've only got 3 where we've actually got a compressed schedule. I don't like where the compressed schedule comes. It falls, I think it's Dallas coming back and headed up to Seattle. That's a critical game to have a compressed 5. So anyway, my thoughts are I don't have a problem with expanding the brand, but in my opinion, all of these international games should be non-conference games. I think all of the games, they could find a way where the NFC and the AFC both are on a road game. You could flip a coin to who serves as the home team and the away team, but I don't think that you should lose a home game to facilitate international play and the expansion of the brand at the expense of the season ticket holder. So that's kind of my take on that. Initially, I don't like the compressed weeks, but in totality, looking at it, we're actually coming out pretty good. You lose the 14-day, but you pick up 6 weeks where you're plus on recovery time. So I just think they could do a better job of, if you're going to go big, go big. Make a big splash, and make the splash so big that it's the majority of the league that's playing international games. Make it non-conference games. You don't want to have divisional games halfway around the world to start a season. I do have a problem with that, especially when the rest of the league is running 8,000 air miles and you're running 34,000 air miles. That's not equity. That will impact the brand. That will impact the quality of play on the field. And I think the NFL can do better on that end. So that's kind of my update for now. Please like and subscribe, and we will come back with some additional analysis once we get a little bit closer to the season. And I'm pretty confident that our roster is set. So like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the flip side.